Two reasons for me to be in Rwanda. First is to pay respect to the people of Rwanda, to what happens, and also to discuss with my team. The International Committee of the Red Cross is there for a long time now in Rwanda, and we are reviewing our programs and have a good discussions also with the government and the different stakeholders to see what we can do and contribute to, in fact, the politics and also the priority of Rwanda. I think we always discuss 3 or 4 different priorities. One is important for us to look at the journey that we did together. As you know, we are the only organization who stayed during the genocide. It's important to look as well at this journey. It's extremely important. B, for me, it's extremely important to understand the new priority of your government. I mean, your government has an important role to play in the region. Last year, you were the president of the African Union. You play an important role internationally. So for me, looking at what is happening in the world, Rwanda has a role to play. It's important to be able to discuss that with the government, to look at diplomatic priority, to look at issues. And then 3, yes, we are assessing always our program and our priority and see what we can do better together with the government, yes. The main achievement for me is, and I'm very proud of that, is the commitment of my organization to Rwanda. We were there every day and we've maintained that presence very importantly. And B, which is important, is to be able to help the Rwandese people and authorities over the last 25, 26 years. And I think maintaining this very strong commitment. So that's an important achievement. Now specifically, I mean, we're still looking at issues which are related to Rwanda, but also to the region. I think there are big issues related to health, to what we call protections, preventions, to connecting the family together. I think there's a lot of things that are still important. And last but not least, I'm also looking at tomorrow in the future. I'm interested about also cyber questions, internet questions. I mean, your country is quite ahead on that, and I want to be able to look at a humanitarian perspective when we think about cyber, for example. There is 2 messages. One message is a message of how come? How is it possible that human beings, brothers and sisters, should find themselves in a situation where women, children are killed? And I'm always shocked. And every time I'm hearing or I'm being exposed to that, I'm still shocked. So a message of shock and grief, and a message of make sure that it will not happen again. And this is something which is so important. That's one of the reasons why we are in this country also, to reflect about how could you prevent, in fact, anything when it comes to violence and war. It's interesting, if you look globally, around the world, because of what happens around the world with the crisis in the Middle East, in Sahel, the migration and all that, what we see is the program of bringing and bringing people together are more important than ever. To be honest, I didn't expect that. But today it's more important than ever because people are disappearing without, having knowledge about what's happening to their loved one. We have a responsibility to make sure to bring people together. And the other issue is we want to commit over time. And some of the response sometimes are found, years after the event. And this is so important for us to maintain the information, maintain the data, maintain the name of the people and trying to find solutions. And that's one thing we have learned here in Rwanda at the time. And I think we are still keeping a very, very strong focus for Rwanda, but also for the region and in general for the globe. First, let's be honest, nobody really knows exactly still what is happening with coronavirus, right? And we're still in a time where the epidemic have started now in China, reaching in fact Europe, and we've seen difficulties now start to reach in fact Africa. And again here, it's interesting to discuss with the Rwandese authorities, how are we preparing ourselves? Our job as an organization is to make sure that we can support the authorities at the national level, but also at the local level, specifically when it comes to fragile health system. You have a very strong health system in Rwanda here. I'm more worried about some of the country in the region. And we need to be very careful and try to prepare ourselves, but also to help. I mean, you just had a neighbor from the country who had a very tough time with Ebola. What will happen if we have coronavirus coming on the top of all that? So I think that is a place where we have a responsibility to try to help, in fact, health system which are very fragile.